What happened? Did you find those men? Well, it's good to see you're all right then. They must have been crazy or desperate, trying to take on the Freestar Rangers. So who were they? And why do they want my farm? Hope Tech? The cargo ship company? Sorry, I don't know anything about that. They say the Rangers always get their man, so to speak. I'm sure you'll figure it out. I can't thank you enough. I'd hate to be remembered as the wagoner who couldn't hold on to the farm that's been in the family for so long. Of course. All the same, I'm grateful.
If you have any more trouble, give us a call. We're in system, so it won't take long to get someone out here. All right, Deputy. Let's get back to the rock. We need to report this to the Marshal.
Some people go their whole life without this.
Hey, Deputy. It's really an honor to be able to help out.
What's the story on Montero Luna?
That call we got from Wagoner Farm turned out to be a little more interesting than I was expecting. Some men were trying to run the Wagoners off their land. They tried to buy it first, but when that didn't work, they turned to threats. We confronted them, and unfortunately, it came to violence. None of them survived.
You helped someone in need and came back alive. That's a job well done. I agree. Until we see the whole picture, we won't know if Miss Wagner is truly safe. What did you make of these men who were trying to take the farm? I had a feeling you were no stranger to combat. Good thing, too, given the turn of events.
Spent some time in uniform, huh? Respect.
Now, did you find anything that might give us a lead on why these men wanted the farm? Hope Tech ships ain't exactly cheap. That thief could probably tell us a lot about these men you ran into.
There's something else. They were dressed in Freestar militia uniforms. The unit badge was yellow on black with the number 1. Didn't you fight in the Colony War, Marshal? That sound familiar at all?
The 1st Cavalry. I was in that unit for a while. But it was disbanded decades ago. After the Battle of Nera. What was left of it, anyway. The 1st Cavalry lost almost all their mechs and soldiers in a big push to take a United Colonies base. They were just about there when a ceasefire order came down. Both sides had just lost too much by then. It was a bloodbath. The commanding officer of the First disobeyed the order. He didn't want the lives of his soldiers to be sacrificed for nothing. They court-martialed him, and the rest of the surviving officers, and locked them all up. I suppose it ain't impossible, but it's real damn unlikely. The unit was pretty much wiped out, and the few that survived ended up in prison after a court-martial for disobeying orders. I don't recall how long the sentence was. The war between the United Colonies and the Freestar Collective? Worst conflict the settled systems has ever seen. Each side unleashed terrible weapons on the other, and countless people died. The armistice was signed 20 years ago, but a lot of folks still bear their scars. Hell, it's our only lead. The Hope Tech factory is in Hope Town on Polvo. Nia Kalu's our ranger stationed out there. She can introduce you to Ron Hope, the president of Hope Tech. He might be able to help you find the thief. Just make sure you stay on his good side. He's on the Council of Governors, and they're the ones we answer to. Proud, stubborn, and smart. A self-made man. He built Hope Tech through blood, sweat, and sheer willpower. The ruling body that oversees the Freestar Collective and the Rangers. The council members are the political and corporate elite of the Freestar Collective, so we have to tread lightly when we're dealing with them. Good. The last thing I need is the council breathing down my neck. This is your assignment now, Deputy. Work with the other Rangers. Find out what you can about those men on Montera Luna. Meantime, I'll look into a possible connection with the 1st Cavalry. Good hunting.
Mayday! Mayday! This is Freestar Ranger Nia Kalu. If anyone is hearing this, system's failing. Need help. I repeat, need help. Approaching ship, you've entered Freestar Collective space. Maintain your current course while we scan for contraband.
And that's it. You're cleared to land at Hope Town.
Inbox activity looks good.
Oh, it's you. Please tell me you're here to help, not to try and steal my ship. You need my help. I'd laugh if it didn't hurt so much. I was tracking a crew of outlaws that's been preying on merchant ships. Bastards got the drop on me. I ran them off, but they got a few good hits in. As you can see, I ain't in much shape to make repairs. Repair my ship? Please. No chance. They took as much of a beating as I did. While outnumbering me 3-1, I'd like to point out. I'll be fine once the pain medication kicks in. The priority right now is the ship. Can't do my job without it. Just patch her up enough to get to Hopetown. The rest can get fixed up there. Thanks. I owe you one.
Rangers always got each other's back.
Thanks. That should get me home. You're right. They were pretty beat up, so I don't think they got real far. But if they make it back to their hideout, I might never find them again. We can't let that happen. Light armaments, not too fast. Pilots are gifted amateurs, but still amateurs. You'll be outnumbered, but they'll be damaged, which should even things up for you.
They look to be heading for Polvo's moon Miatha.
Good hunting.
Separation complete.
We don't take prisoners.
Exposing Raptor.
Welcome to Free Star Space. We're gonna do a quick scan for contraband. You can be on your way. Scan complete. You're clear to land.
To think one man made all of this. Nothing was here until Ron Hope.
I don't want to hear any complaints.
Proudly.
Ron Hope's the best thing that's happened.
This was literally nothing until Ron Hope came here.
You made it. Those outlaws didn't give you too much trouble, I trust? I can walk, talk, and breathe without too much pain. That's good enough for me. Good. I'm sure it didn't hurt that I softened him up for you. You've got good timing. A courier just came in from Aquila. The Marshal sends his regards along with a briefing on your case. I was surprised as hell to learn about the starship theft. Nobody said a word to me about it. Anyway, Mr. Hope can see us whenever you're ready. If you need to take a little time first, feel free. No, and I can't get answers as to why not. I'm sure Mr. Hope has his reasons. His office is upstairs. He's in a meeting, but it should be wrapping up. Come on.
Trucks in space. Their motto always cracks me up.
Ron Hope isn't just the founder and president of Hope Tech. He's on the Council of Governors. The Council oversees the Freestar Rangers, so don't rile him up. I've spent a long time trying to build a good relationship with Hope. He comes on a little strong, but there's a lot to admire about the man. Everything you see around you, he built. Pretty much everyone in this town owes him for their livelihood. Can't begin to imagine the kind of pressure that must put on someone. All I'm saying is, try to show a little respect. All the way up. Is it just me, or does every executive in the settled systems have an office on the top floor? I guess being above everyone makes them feel like they're, well, above everyone.
I guess I could offer double shifts. It'll push payroll pretty high, but I think it's a worthwhile trade-off. As for parts, we could try outsourcing. Do a contract with scavengers, maybe, but that's a decision that's got to be made upstairs.
Well, talk to Elaine about the scavengers. It's not a bad idea, provided we get a good deal. And I don't mean a fair deal. I mean a good deal. Remember, it's not just our bottom line that matters. We're also responsible for the welfare of everyone in the factory. We look out for our people here, Bridget. That's a point of great personal pride.
Excuse me, Mr. Hope?
Well now, the Freestar Rangers. At last! Damn good to see you here. I think we're done here, Bridget.
Yes, sir.
This is the deputy I told you about.
Splendid. Splendid! It's a noble calling, being a Freestar Ranger. We certainly could use more of you. Let's get down to it, shall we? Time is money. I'm sure I don't have to tell you what an outrage it is to have a ship stolen right out of the factory. Justice must be done, and the sooner the better. That's good news. I'll send my people over to bring it home. Of course, that doesn't mean your work is done. I want the thief found and prosecuted to the full extent of the law. I'm sure I don't need to remind you of my position on the Council of Governors. I'm glad we understand each other.
I'd take Ron Hope over Benjamin Bayou any day of the week. Looks like we got a job to do.
Now, tell me that you've at least got a lead of some kind. Though what happened after the ship was taken doesn't concern me. What does concern me is making sure that this doesn't happen again. Well, I'm not sure I can be much help, but I'll answer whatever questions I can. Because I told them not to. If word got out, it would do irreparable harm to our image. I'm in fierce competition with other starship manufacturers. Any sign of weakness could be fatal. What's more, every starship thief in the settled systems would likely flock to Hopetown and start planning the next heist. What? Nonsense! we vet our people thoroughly here. Hope Tech holds its employees to the very highest standards. Nevertheless, I suppose I could have Cosette conduct a thorough personnel review. Rest assured, if we turn up any evidence that one of our people was an accomplice, I'll let you know. We questioned everyone who was in the building when it happened, and not one person seems to have seen anything at all. Frankly, I think that's both highly unlikely and more than a little suspicious. However, I can't deny there are times when the hangar is empty, so it's not inconceivable the thief could have slipped in unseen. No, nothing at all. It was just a standard Hope Tech cargo hauler. Not that it didn't have great value, mind you. Hope Tech builds some of the most durable and reliable starships in the settled systems. Now, you can bet my ships last twice as long as anything Stroud Eklund makes. Very well. I need you to understand something, Deputy. This town is home to men, women, and children who depend on Hope Tech for a living. I provide jobs that put food on their tables and a roof over their heads. It's a responsibility that I take very seriously. If word gets out about the stolen ship, my investors will lose trust, and my workers will pay the price. I can't allow that.
You've got a reputation for looking after your own, Mr. Hope. I'm sure the deputy here will keep that in mind.
Is that so? Well, I'm glad to hear it. I've worked hard to make sure that everyone here is well cared for. I'm glad we understand one another.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Mr. Hope, but there's been a development.
Not now, Cosette. I'm in the middle of something.
But sir, we have new information. I've just received a report that the stolen ship was seen landing at Neon just after the theft.
A breakthrough at last. Well, Deputy, it sounds like you'll be heading to Neon, which means I can get back to work. Remember what we discussed. My people are depending on you.
Hey, can I get a word? That wasn't as helpful as it could have been. Still, at least you know where to pick up the trail. Let's hope. So, guess you're headed for Neon. There's a ranger stationed there. Name's Jalen Price. He's a little different than the rest of us. But Neon's a different kind of place. Well, we could talk for an hour about that. The short version would be that crime, law, and justice don't exactly mean the same things there. The badge doesn't carry the same weight on Neon, so you might have to get creative. He's what I'd call a pragmatist. He sees things for what they are. He's also well-connected, which means a lot on Neon. You should listen to what he tells you. It'll keep you out of trouble. He should be able to help you out. Well, we've both got work to do. It was good to meet you, Deputy. Thanks again for helping me out up there. I'll be taking it easy for a couple of days. Need time to heal up. Then, I need to get back up there and keep an eye out for more pirates. I'm hoping to track one of their ships so I can find their hideout. Guess we could both use a little luck, huh?
Well, no.
No problem. Good luck on Neon, Deputy.
Mr. Hope's protection and welfare is my sole concern. If we distract ourselves with other matters...
If you got a thirst for, something, Neon can deliver.
Ryujin is hiring the best and brightest today for our future.
She's a lot of fun. They even record here every now and then.
Hey, I don't care who you work for. You can't just... Oh, you're the rookie, aren't you? Not exactly, but I get a lot of unwanted visitors. Kinda comes with the territory here. The one and only. Well, the Marshal's message said you were following a lead about a stolen ship. Truth is, a lot of stolen goods flow through here, but this city is real good at keeping its secrets, even from us. No, I think you should be careful. You can count on my help if you play by the rules. This isn't Aquila City. The badge doesn't carry the same weight here. The people who run this place aren't overly concerned about the law. Our job is to keep the peace, make sure the violence doesn't get out of hand. The last thing anyone around here wants is some hotshot deputy looking in every dark corner.
Neon's a tough assignment. The ecosystem is rigged against any real law enforcement.
I pick my battles, and I pick them carefully. Our first duty is to protect the people of the Freestar Collective. But sometimes you have to choose which people to protect, because not everyone is innocent. That would be Benjamin Bayou. He's out to squeeze every credit he can from the people of this city, and he doesn't much care who gets hurt in the process. He's also got a seat on the Council of Governors, which proves that if you've got enough credits, you can buy anything you want. Rookies.
It's just not that easy. I really, really wish it was.
Your stolen ship would have had to land at the spaceport. If it was right off the factory floor, it would have stood out. There's a guy I know, Billy Clayton, does maintenance work around the city and keeps an eye on ship traffic for me. I'll introduce you, but don't expect a favor. Even if it doesn't cause credits, nothing in Neon is free. This is Neon. There are no guarantees, and who I find trustworthy changes on a daily basis. Talk to him or don't, it's your call. Of course, Neon's full of desperate people who have nowhere else to turn. For some, it's the drugs, for others, it's gambling. There are a lot of ways to lose everything in this city. My rule is simple. If someone brought it on themselves, I don't get involved. Rangers are supposed to exercise good judgment. I'm one person here. I can't help everybody. The best I can do is try to protect the ones who are innocent. And believe me, it's a full-time job. Stay out of people's business until you can. Be willing to let the small stuff slide. Don't break up a fight unless it's getting out of hand. Most of all, don't assume that badge will protect you. Nah, I've got friends in high places, so to speak. I'm the son of a Ryujin Industries executive. Maybe you've heard of her. Name's Alexis Price. There's a sort of fragile peace here in Neon. It's better for everyone if the syndicates and the corporations coexist with minimum friction. Believe it or not, yeah, it was. My mother's an executive with Ryujin, so I grew up here. I volunteered for this post as much to keep the other Rangers out of trouble as any other reason. If some hotshot rookie took this job and started flashing the badge everywhere, it wouldn't end well. Come on. That was pretty impressive how you volunteered to help out with the bank heist in Aquila City. Yeah, I read all the reports. I learned quickly that in Neon, staying informed and staying alive are closely linked. What stood out to me was that you didn't lose a single hostage. No wonder the marshal tried to recruit you right away. If he hadn't, it would have made him look like a fool, having some random stranger step in and do the job he couldn't. Now, if someone tried to hold up a bank here, they'd be gunned down without a moment's hesitation.